Where do you stand on an NFL model for college football, conference realignment?
Can you tell me, Dan, sort of what that means?
Let's say I took the top 50 schools,
Yep.
however you wanted to rank them, the top 40, and you actually get back to regional. UCLA and USC should not be traveling cross country. That's silly. Cal should not be doing that cross country. I mean, we know that, right? That's silly. So if you do where you have geographical matchups, just like you do in the NFL, Kansas City's playing Denver and playing Los Angeles. So you just do that. You do little pods all over America, and then you break that down, and then you play one another, and you might get first round buys, host a game, whatever it is. Maybe you have relegation in there. You could really spice this up. Everybody's going to be happy. Everybody's going to make a ton of money. For years, Charlie, I was saying 4 teams, there's so much. You had a winning lottery ticket. All of a sudden, everybody goes, we're going to 12 teams. And I go, you won't stay at 12 that long because you know how much money is going to be made. Why don't we just get rid of all of that and get 40 schools, divvy them up geographically, and eventually you're going to have a Super Bowl of college football.
I think part of that comes down to whether you think over time, there's only going to be 40 schools who should be part of the conversation.
We can make it more. I don't want it to be the NCAA tournament. I don't need 96, but let's say you did 50. Wait, are you going to 96 schools?
No, we're not.
You're not.
The most we'll ever go to is someone 70.
70? Okay.
The calendar is very, very specific. How many games you can slam into that period of time.
Okay.
My point is just that if you just take this year, for example, look at Indiana, right? Nobody would have thought coming into the year that Indiana was going to be 10-0 at this point in time. If you carved it down to a smaller number, Indiana might not be in your 50. Georgia Tech beating Miami over the weekend. To me, what's happening right now in college football in particular is a sense that there are a lot more games that matter week to week than mattered 2 or 3 years ago. And I don't know if that's a function of the transfer portal or the quality of the coaching or what, but it feels to me like there's a lot more competitive opportunity there than there was a few years back. And I'm glad the CFP made the decision to go to 12 teams because, and you may be right. I was on a panel with Nick Saban a few weeks ago, and Nick said that, now that you're 12, people start talking about a bigger number. And he's, that may in fact be where people go. But I kind of appreciate the fact that the folks who oversee the CFP are careful about some of these decisions they make, because once you make them, you can't undo them, right?
Yeah, I agree. And I love an underdog story. We all do. But Army might be in the 12-team playoff. You can get in there, but yep. I just think we're headed towards that. I don't know if it's in 5 years or whenever. It just feels like follow the money. Well,
the thing that's an interesting, I guess I can't really, I need to think about getting the settlement finished, because this is going to be our opportunity to put a working model in place that I think can work for everybody in D1 and preserves kind of the comedy, COMITY, that we need, not just for football, but for the other sports that the NCAA oversees and works with all the schools and conferences on.